Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today I have the opportunity to work on a reel that I recently got at a flea market. This is a Shimano reel. It's the Triton Graphite TLD Star. It's the 2040S. This one probably has a good story behind it. One, very noisy, which says that the bearing needs to be replaced. This one is got a little thing here. It says custom built for Shimano headquarters. So I don't know if this was a demo reel that possibly went out to sales reps or prototype or what it is. It's missing some things. It's got a noise in there. We're missing a little tie down for the cap. And the reason why it was in the bargain bin of the flea market, well, no free spool release. So something's going on there. And so I thought I would do with this one is to do a kind of a why do reels fail. I'm sure I'm going to have to go out and order parts. I want to replace that bearing. I want to maybe see if I can't get the tie-down cap for that. And more importantly, there's probably a spring or something that's come off that's caused this free spool lever to react as it is. So we're going to take off the exterior pieces. We'll take the reel apart. We'll learn from it, and you'll see how to service this reel if you happen to have one of these. So as I'm getting started taking off the exterior pieces and parts, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel. My channel covers all kinds of fishing reels and the fishing industry in general. It basically revolves around the fishing reel, but you'll learn about the manufacturers, you'll learn about the types of reels, you'll see how they were made and how to service them, and it's a wide variety. So today I'm working on an ocean reel. I just finished a freshwater reel. You might find a low-profile bait casting reel next. You never know. I never know because you're looking over my shoulder at projects that come into my shop. And as the projects come into the shop, they vary. And, well, you get a nice variation of fishing reels to learn from. So go ahead and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit that notification button. Well, I'm walking off the star adjuster now. There is a little washer that sits in an indentation in this, so be careful as you take it off. It may release itself, and if it does, well, you're just going to have to find it if you're not looking for it. Well, that one's kind of sitting in there. That's fine. Underneath that, there's also another washer that's going to ride on this side. So what you want to do is you want to take pictures of the reel as you're disassembling it. Now, I'm using a video to take those pictures. But for your purposes, well, digital camera, phone, cell phone, any of those would be appropriate. Okay, just take it at meaningful parts so that you know what's going where. So we only have one washer in there between the adjuster and the bearing. I'm going to remove the screws now for this case. This reel's definitely been used. I'm looking at the one bearing on the inside here, and that looks like it's probably has seen better days. And again, I picked this one up relatively inexpensively because of the issue with the free spool and the noise, so it's going to take a little bit of an investment to get the reel back to where it should be, but that's okay. There's still enough value in that reel when I get done. So there's 4 side plate screws in the front, and there's 2 that are hooking in from behind. This says it's a Shimano product of Japan, so this one was a Japanese-made reel. There are some Shimanos made in Malaysia. This was not one of them. And there's 2 small screws here. You're probably going to need a micro screwdriver to get these out. And just be careful with these. These are very small screws. They're easily lost. So just gain control of them early on. What you may not have seen yet, I take all of my pieces of parts and I put them into a parts tray. That's ideal for, well, small screws like the one we just took out. If you leave that one on your table, well, chances are it gets in harm's way, and the next thing you know, you're going to have a problem finding it. And one more screw here. Having an issue with reach behind that little bar. The tip is good. So the tip on a number 1 Phillips head will get that screw out. Always good to know. All right, let's get your camera ready because you want to take a picture here. Again, our issue is what's going on with this free spool lever, but we're going to show you the whole reel. And, well, I'm going to come back and order some parts. I definitely want to replace that bearing. We're going to lift up now. Well, this is very interesting. I think this one may have made it onto the pile because somebody just didn't align the stud with the hole in the jack. If that's it, then that's quite a shame about getting rid of your reel just because of that. All right, let's go ahead and take the tension washers off. And those of you that know me and know these fishing reels know I want to get rid of these springs as quickly as possible. There's a downside to these springs. If you leave them on those posts, they're going to shoot and you're going to have trouble finding them again. All right, good place to take the picture. I've seen a lot of folks put this in upside down with the springs underneath the yoke. So if you took the picture there, that's all good. And then of course you have tension washers here that you probably wanted to take pictures of as they came off the set there. And here's another tension washer and a small washer that goes up against the bearing. You need to know those sequences as you go to reinstall. This reel is very dry, but other than being dry, I'm not sure that there's really an issue. I think that somebody just didn't merge in the lever jack. We're going to find out. But we're going to show you how to service this whole reel. And this is quite a reel. This is a big one by all counts and justifications. All right, well that's what we have. We have a stuck washer on the stuck pinion gear on the spool. That's a different issue. All right, we got to find a way now to try and bring this up and out, and that's not going to be easy. I'm trying to hope that I can get the jack off this reel and over that little stud there without breaking anything. That's job number one. Okay. Job number two now is how do I get the yoke out? And I can't because that's locked. So here's the issue. I'm going to put this aside for a moment. I've removed almost all the parts that I can without injuring the reel. This pinion gear is frozen onto the spool shaft, this shaft. So what we're going to do, and please, if you're going to do this, if you have this situation, you need to be very, very careful. We're going to flood it with the penetrating oil first. And just let that seep in for a moment. Next up, we need to use heat. I use a plumber's torch. You can use a chef's torch. You can use other things. Now, we need to have a direct focus of the heat on the pinion gear. We've got some oil in there which might start to flame, and you just want to be careful. You don't need a lot of it, and you don't need it for a long time. What we're doing is heating that might be enough. We're heating our pinion gear because metals expand at a different rate. And when they expand at a different rate, you've got a different metal here than you do on the post of the spool. And that's what we're hoping to do, is expand them differently to break the rust in there. Next I'm going to get a pair of pump pliers. I want to clear that stud. You do not want to hold it like this. What you want to do is you want to buffer the threads. You do not want to strip the gear. So what we want to do now is we want to grab that and rock. Okay, I've been kind of working at this. We've sort of taken it apart a little bit, but you can notice we're coming up now, and I've been doing it iteratively, spraying in the penetrating oil, coming back and blanketing that, and also using a little screwdriver here behind, trying to push up on the yoke to see if we can't get a gentle prying from behind. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to walk it off the shoulder of the spool. I've also removed the back case just to give myself a little bit more room to handle this. And it's moving in the right direction. So again, we're padding this up so that we don't scar the teeth. And there we go. It's off. All right. Well, now we can take this off. That's why I removed the back, to show you what was going on here. And we can also see the noisemaker in all of this. So the bearing appears, well, the bearing's making all the noise. You can see the rust on this spool. And what we've done, again, with the series of iterations, is we've been able to grab the heat, apply it to expand the metal on the shaft, which is going to expand differently than the metal on the pinion gear. Now notice that we haven't scarred the pinion gear because we've used that little matting piece. So let's just show you. It's tight now, but it's spinning. And when we polish this off, you can see all the rust and that on there. When we polish off the spool shaft here, we clean the inside of this, well, we'll have a spool gear that goes in and out, and we'll have our free spool. Well, right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bearings out of this reel. There's two of them. There's one on here that's quite gone, and this one's the noisemaker. There's no bearing on the back side here. There's a bushing. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead, order the replacements on this one, and we'll come back and put the reel back together again and make it work the way it should. So I hope you've enjoyed that problem diagnosis. I learned a little bit about how to take off a frozen spool or pinion gear, and how to restore a free spool function to a reel. So this is it's a good lesson learned, and the encouraging thing is, even though this reel has had a long fishing history, well, it's going to go fishing again. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you did, please like it. Again, if you want to see more of these types of videos, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. To all of our first responders and essential personnel, thank you for everything it is that you do to keep us safe. And to everyone, please stay safe, stay well, stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.